Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that sheep have a strong natural instinct to follow their herd? Chairperson, now you might be wondering, why am I starting my speech with a fact about sheep? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to stray away from the definition of alternative as another choice or possibility, and rather focus on the alternative definition, deviating from or challenging traditional norms. Today I'm going to convince you that no matter how alternative you think you are, we are all sheep in a world where there is no alternative. Change your perception of being alternative, because alternative is a wolf in sheep's clothing. To call someone a sheep is not necessarily seen as a compliment. Most people will immediately react with the following words: "No, I'm not a sheep. I'm different from the normal person." However, if everyone reacts this way when they get called a sheep, doesn't that make us all the same? In that case, the alternative response would be to say, "Yes, you are right. I am a sheep." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first step to alternative thoughts, to admit that you are powerless against the thinking of the masses. How many times during COVID did you see people commenting on Facebook, "Wake up, sheeple"? These were the so-called alternatives who thought that they were not one of the sheep wearing masks and sanitizing until their hands looked like biltong. Yet they, and millions of others, posted the exact same words while sitting compliantly in lockdown level 5. It is the same as thinking you are alternative when you are vegan. Wake up, Susan. You can't swing a carrot in Brooklyn without hitting 10 vegans. Besides, sheep are vegans. One of the most alternative ways to beat the pandemic was Sweden's attempt at herd immunity. Many countries praised them for their alternative way of thinking. However, in the article in World Politics Review of 17 December 2020, it was made clear: Sweden's alternative backfired. A health director in Stockholm, Born Eriksson, and no, he is not one of the members of ABBA, pleaded in this article, "We need help." I think he meant, "We need help." Furthermore, being alternative can expire. When my grandparents were children, they were forced to sneakily listen to Elvis, late night, on the lowest volume. When Elvis made his debut, his music was considered as offensive and animalistic. According to the Catholic Herald of 10 November 2006, the Catholic Church issued a statement at that time reading, "Beware Elvis Presley." I wonder what these alternatives would have thought of these days' heavy metal bands. Compared to them, Elvis was very tame. His alternative shelf life has already expired decades ago. Finally, we need to move away from the idea that the herd mentality is necessarily bad. In a Psychology Today article of 24 May 2017, Dr. Robert Cialdini writes that to follow the masses helps us to function in a more complex environment. And I cannot think of a more complex environment other than the world since COVID. And us sheep all decided to follow the herd when we had our family gatherings with Uncle Cyril. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not saying that we are all the same, because we are not. We are all sheep of different herds. Look at any school environment. You get the rugby herd, the netball herd, the drama herd, and even if the school likes to admit it or not, the smoking behind the pavilion herd. They only smoke Mentos. But don't undermine sheep. They are gentle, sensitive animals that are emotionally complex and highly intelligent. Our challenge is rather for all these different herds to find a way to accept each other and live together. Thinking you are the top dog amongst a herd of sheep, the exception, thinking you are the alternative, helps no one. After all, we are all sheep, just like we are all human. Therefore, I believe, change your perception of alternative, because alternative is a wolf in sheep's clothing.